All right, hey guys, hey everybody, welcome back, episode 2. This is the first one with a guest, as you know. I'm Andrew Matson with Home Court Roofing, owner, CEO, that kind
Yeah,
of thing. I've got Brian Alacorn here.
yeah. So I'm Brian. I'm owner of Alacorn Pro Painting. We are a residential painting company here out of Louisville, and we specialize in high end and the customer experience.
Perfect. Just real quick, like, how long have you guys been in business? You said
Yeah,
high end networks. I mean,
we've been in business for about 4 years now. This is 2021 was when we started the LLC, so we're year 4. Yep.
nice, awesome, and just hit over $1 million this year. So
Yes,
we're gonna
sir.
talk about that a
Yes,
little bit
sir.
later, but yeah, congratulations on
No,
that.
thank
So
you, man. Thank you.
yeah,
It's still crazy to think about that I did hit that.
yeah,
And
cool. Well, so you don't know, this is the first podcast guest we have here. This is Brian. Um, Brian, I met through a networking thing. He does great Instagram ads and just a young entrepreneur. Kind of introduce you into kind of what I'm trying to do here is, yeah, we're just kind of gonna chat to other business owners, young people that are being successful. Try to help them make it easier for the next generation. So helping kind of the next group of people learn
yeah.
and grow from our mistakes and dumb stuff that we've done
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
stuff that's worked for us. So, but yeah, it's the
Yeah.
biggest thing.
No, man, it's a great idea because like podcasts, like having a podcast, it's typically you can just put it while you're driving, and having like young entrepreneurs that are in the trades kind of just talking about their experiences. I think that's pretty valuable just for someone just to listen in and to learn. And like you said, I've done a lot. I've taken a lot of L's, and some of them, you learn from them,
Hmm.
and it just to tell people, like, give people tips, and it's good to have a podcast like this just to people to learn.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, kind of take a step back. Tell us about what you do. Obviously, Alacorn Pro.
Yeah,
It's on your shirt there. I
yeah, yeah,
know
yeah. Cool, sure,
you're
huh?
painting. That's how we met. So
Halloween season.
there you go.
Um, yeah, so we did meet in a referral. I think we went into it like I think it was a smaller
Something like a
one.
BNI or it
I
was.
don't even
It
think
wasn't a BNI. It was
no, it was
it was
smaller.
the
It was like
referral group.
five
Yeah,
people,
we
five,
had.
6 people.
Yeah, I missed that group.
Uh,
Yeah, we had
yeah,
5 people.
we met there, and then networking, like
Mhm.
just networking, got your number, and then like we just been following each other
Yeah,
ever since.
I know the biggest thing, and you've traveled a bunch this year. I know the biggest thing that kind of attracted me to you was the fact that you always look to other people for mentorship.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, like today's game, you kind of have to pay to play for a
Hmm.
lot of that, like mentorship and like learning and that kind of
Hmm.
thing, which is some of the reason I'm doing this is like want to put some of that out for free for the next generation. But just getting in those rooms with people, that's really what attracted me.
Yeah,
But
yeah, man. I've always been someone to just ask, like if you're doing something that I want to do, I'm just like, what am I doing? Like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? Give me some feedback, and I've always just been one to ask someone how to do something, just because it's like, well, they know how to do it. Why would I figure it out? So throughout my business, throughout just learning how to market, learning how to sell, learning how to set up my business, learning how to like set up my habits and personal goals. Like I just ask people like, so what are your goals, or like, what are you doing?
yep,
And then trying to get in their headspace and to know how they're thinking. And
for sure.
yeah, take
We'll
some of
definitely
it.
get into a lot of that kind of stuff, but take me back. Like, how did you get into painting and like your company
Yeah.
and like,
Okay.
because you guys have grown a ton in the last couple of
Yeah,
years.
yeah.
So,
So I don't think I ever wanted to be a painter growing up. So
I
uh
never want to do roofs. So that's,
yeah,
that's fine.
so it's one of those things to like my dad would just like my dad was he was a handyman. He
Mhm.
did a lot of things. He did from framing, carpentry, landscaping, mulching, picking
Mhm.
out weeds, painting, all like anything that you could do without a license, he would do.
Yeah.
So a lot of it, just growing up with him, just like on a Saturday, he'll just take me with work to work with them. So I knew the work. I knew the type of what it was. I wasn't all I thought was it's just labor and working for money, which it never really attracted me because that was like kind of my mentality. It's like, no, I don't want to do that. Eventually, I just started doing my own thing, as in like I got into other things like learning insurance and stuff like that, like Aflac and stuff like that. As a young person.
Yep.
And then the COVID hit. Really, COVID hit in about 2020,
Yep.
and then so I couldn't really do what I wanted to do, which was I didn't want to do that either. The insurance.
Yeah,
I was a young guy. I was a young guy. Yeah, I didn't
grind.
know. I didn't know what I wanted to do at the time.
Yeah.
But during that time, I couldn't do what I wanted to do. What I was doing, so I went with my dad. And then, because I knew he always had work, like he always had something going on. And then during that November of the first COVID November, during the first winter, like around this time, we just work slowed down like all the way, and then so we didn't have any jobs, and then my dad was the main breadwinner of the family. My mom doesn't work, so. And I'm like, at this point, my dad is kind of like feeding me as well with like work and stuff, right? And we just had no work for like until like February of the next year. Yeah. So we went from November to February with no work, no money, not a single dollar came into like my family's bank account during then.
Yeah.
So during that time, we did little things to keep ourselves busy. Like we were taking whatever jobs at this time. And as I was doing these jobs like painting a baseboard, painting a door, I really got, I started like listening. I was always the guy with headphones, sort of like while I was working. And then I just started listening to audibles and books and podcasts and just kind of getting a new mindset on things. And then that's where I learned like, okay, like we don't have work because we didn't market, and we can't market because we don't really have a sales process if we did get the clients.
Yep.
And then we also can't market because we don't even have a brand or a like we don't have a like, hey, I'm a painter and I will paint your houses. We were just like, hey, we're workers, and we'll do what like just let us know what you want. So that's when I decided to niche down into something that I could do myself and that I could train, and painting was just one of those things that I'm just like, okay, I can do that, and I have control of it. And to get into the painting business, you don't need much, to get into it. It's a good thing and a bad thing. But you don't need much to get into painting. And so it was a father-son kind of like origin story.
Yeah.
And then
my dad. Was it? Yeah, no, go ahead.
I was going to say my dad was not on board with just doing painting only.
Yeah.
Like that was the biggest thing because in his mind, he was saying we're leaving money on the table. There's more work that we can do. Why did you say we won't do that when like we can do it, and now like we're not benefiting from the money that could come from that?
Yeah, it's a tough one.
That was tough. I mean, me and my dad bickered and fought so much at the beginning of the years of the business, and it was just hard to change his mindset. Eventually, I was able to after I kind of proved him a couple things. But yeah, I just started investing into marketing. Learning the sales process, rebranding and stuff.
So thinking back to that time, who was it that you were listening to that was kind of opened your eyes to a lot of that?
It's kind of like the first one wasn't even like a business book. It was the Rich Dad Poor Dad because I was like, that's just like
the classic.
Yeah, you just look up recommendations of what to listen to, and it was Rich Dad Poor Dad. So I was like, well, I mean, I've heard about it. Let's just give it a listen. listened to that, and then I think in that book really it taught me of like assets and stuff, and like you can have a company, and because I didn't even know. I'm like, is real estate my thing? Is having a company my thing? Or what is my thing?
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, well, I was listening to it. I was painting. I was thinking about creating my own company. And at this point, I'm just like, okay, well, my company could be my asset. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I may have been working on my asset this entire time. I just didn't know
Yeah.
that I've been working on it. So that one started, and then I just kept. My next one that really like changed the game was the E Myth,
Okay.
by Michael Gerber.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's who writes that. He kind of showed me that it's not like you can't do it alone. Like it's not like you're just because you're a painter does not mean you're a marketer. Doesn't mean you're a salesperson. Doesn't
Mm-hmm.
mean you're a um, just an organizer and a manager. And after that, I was just like, oh man, okay, so we gotta split up the responsibilities. And and then it clicked. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what like real
Companies
big
do.
companies
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something I talk about all the time in like my previous jobs is like the difference between like running a company, having a corporation, and then like continuing to grow beyond that of like, oh, running a business, having a company, and like owning a corporation is like, those are kind of like the progressions of it is like a lot of people get stuck. And this is my father-in-law was a painter too. He kind of got stuck in that same thing too of
Mm-hmm.
like running the business is like,
Mm-hmm.
I have to do everything. If like I don't do it, it doesn't get done.
Mm-hmm.
But like you were just talking about that diversification of having a company and like, oh yeah, duh, it makes sense that there should be the same person that does the marketing is not the same person that's, painting the door frames because his genius is not that genius is not his skill is not their skill.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's a big difference. And that's,
Yeah.
I think that's a big reason of a lot of your growth. I'm sure,
Yeah. No. After that, so after I kind of learned that through those books and listened to all that, I was just like, boom. I was like, okay, uh, like, and they were also saying niche down to something, and I was like, okay. And when they said that, I was like, all right, painting. And then I looked up painting, looked up the painting podcast, looked up like painting associations, and then I started adding people on Facebook that were doing good, and on Instagram just started following them, and then yeah, like I said, I'm just like if someone's doing something, I'm just like I'll slide out and be like, what is this? Or like, what are you doing?
yeah.
Or like, how do you do that? And then that's how.
I don't know the answer to this. I know I've seen your Instagram and definitely follow his Instagram. He's got a great Instagram.
Like, yeah.
But who in the industry? Because I know you've traveled some and gone to different conferences and stuff and met up with
Mm-hmm.
people and maybe you're part of a couple groups. But who is it in the industry that like maybe probably not here but somewhere else has been very helpful to you?
Oh man, I got like a list of names just because I'm always asking. Like uh there was a guy and that I listened to his podcast. It was like one of the first podcasts that I listened to.
Mm-hmm.
He had this thing called Contractor Secrets. It
Mm-hmm.
was like painter base. And I listened to him, and then he was offering like free consult business breakdowns,
Mm-hmm.
but they just had to be like recorded and shown.
Mm-hmm.
And then so like I'm just like, all right, well, let me get a business breakdown.
Yeah.
And then he broke down my business, and then he then since I'm just following out of curiosity, I'm following everyone.
Yeah.
And then he's like, yeah, so this guy's good with this guy's good with this guy's good with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just reach out to them at my own, like whenever I can. But yeah, Tanner Mullen, he was a good one, which he did that podcast. After that, I went to an event. So I was like 23.
Mm-hmm.
And then on that podcast, they're like, hey, next month we're in Pennsylvania, we're having a cabinet refinishing event.
Mm-hmm.
I've never cabinet refinished at this point. It was something that I was thinking about, but they were like, this person's going to be there. This person's going to be there. This person's going to be there. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, I'm going to have to make that.
Yeah.
And this is back then, like, I didn't really have money. Like I I did all this in credit cards. I just put it on the credit card, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And I drove. I've
Staying
drove.
in like the cheapest Airbnb you could
Yeah.
find, like,
Oh
road
my.
tripping
Oh
up
my.
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. At the motel. No.
What? So before, I want to hear that story for sure. What was it in your brain that triggered, hey, this is where I have to be?
It was just the fact that everyone that I was at the moment, who I follow, not everyone
Mhm.
that I follow, but like a couple big people that I follow were there. I'm just like, okay. And the event was like a smaller, cheaper event.
Mhm.
And that's why I was just like, all right, well, let me go there. Let me ask them. Let me see who's doing what. And I went there, and that's where I met more people. And like I was like, no way, you're doing $1 million in painting only. Because I'm like, to do painting only, I've always thought like, well, to do 1 million,
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, my mindset's different. I'm like, I mean, I gotta do roofing, I gotta do gutters, gotta do painting. Like you gotta have some big ticket items to hit 1 million.
Mhm.
And then when they said that they don't do 1 million of just pure painting, I was like, okay, so it is possible.
Yeah.
So
Did you hit 1 million this year?
yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah, I hit him. I'm at 1.25 right now.
Hell yeah. So this was the conference that you went to in Philadelphia or in Pittsburgh. This was what year? 2021?
This was like 2022.
Okay,
2022.
So
Yeah.
3 years ago, you didn't think $1 million in painting
Was possible. Yeah. I didn't even know.
crazy.
I thought I just thought that the painting business, you just need more services to hit 1 million.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no way, like in painting, no way.
Yeah.
But
So meeting those people completely changed like a limited belief that you had around like what was even possible. So that's
yeah.
amazing. So that's a lot of the reason that I love like going to those and being in the room with those bigwigs. Like whether you talk to the person that you follow or not, there's other people that are on the same path as, you know, whatever his name is that, you know, was hosting the event or the speakers that they had. There's other people that are on the same path as you. And like getting into rooms with people like that, again, that's what's changed, you know, my trajectory and like what I thought was possible in this industry. And, you know, sounds like it's the same. So
Yeah, no.
tell me more about that experience of like going to Philadelphia, meeting some people. Was it like speakers that you talked to? Because you're not afraid to DM people out of the blue and talk to them, but was it more them or was it more people you met in the crowd?
I think every time is more people that I meet in the crowd. Like if I go to an event, it's honestly not even the person. Like, yeah, I'm getting some good stuff from whatever the seminar is about, but like I'm sitting next to this person that I don't know, and I'm just like just chit chatting, and they're like, oh yeah, it's 2.1 million. Never touched the paintbrush. I'm just like, what do you mean? You've never touched the paintbrush? So just stuff like that. I'm just like, okay, give me your number. Like I got questions. How is that even possible? Yeah, it's always it's when I go to these events morely because I know that I'm probably gonna be hanging out and just talking to someone in between like classes or whatever, and that's when I get the real juice. That's when I get the real secrets.
Yeah, I feel the same way. So I go in with an intention of like, hey, this is kind of what, you know, what I'm looking to get out of this event. Yes, these 3 speakers, they have great information on these 3 topics. Let me learn from them. But then like, yeah, open yourself up to have conversations with the people and like same kind of thing now, especially like pay it forward. You find someone that's younger, that's like hungry doing something. Like I learn a lot from those people, especially even like new reps. We have new rep comes off the street, like learn a lot about like how he thinks the business should work. And like, you know, you get outside the box ideas and that kind of stuff. But then, yeah, learning people that are on the same path and like just asking them to help is like, it's a big Dave Meltzer thing is, you know, hey, I got to this level because someone helped me. All these people that are above me, don't be afraid to ask because they want to do the same things. Like, and now I'm in the same spot as like, how can I help drag, you know, person that's on level 2 up to level 3 or, you know, whatever level we're on. But yeah, people are way more, especially at those kind of events, like you find the right group of people. Like there's a lot of people that are willing to take the time and break bread with you. And
yeah. And then it, like something else that just reminded me of, this is like when someone asks you for help, like you're the big guy, not the big guy, but you're just the person that has some answers that this person needs. Uh, then you really start thinking about it, like, all right, well, yeah, let me tell him, but like, how do I tell him? Like, what's the best way? And you start kind of like relearning your own like thing, your whatever it is that you're gonna tell him. You start like relearning it.
The best way to learn something, like if you guys really want to learn something out there, teach someone else to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it, like
yeah, exactly. Like, so how can I make him understand this so he doesn't do what I did? And then just thinking about that, I'm like, okay, and then you just learn it a little bit more, so you can tell him. Yep.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so you kind of cycle back to the beginning. Something that you mentioned was like your personal development journey and that kind of thing. I think that goes really hand in hand with entrepreneurship and business and that kind of stuff. There's so many resources out there, ChatGPT and all the different podcasts and that kind of stuff. Like you can learn how to run a bunch of different businesses. But the thing that separates the people that are successful with the people that aren't, I think, is that self-development journey.
It's self-development, and I think it's also just taking action, because like
That's a big one.
if you just like learn a lot but like you don't do anything with it just because like it's not the time, or you're not ready, then like you kind of just wasted that whatever that knowledge that you had. Like, it's all about, you're never going to be ready for anything at all. For anything, you're never going to be ready to put more money on marketing. You're never going to be.
How ready were you when you started, or when you decided to talk to your dad about doing just painting?
I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. No, you're never going to be ready.
Yeah.
So you just got to do it, and just don't quit. Can just, like, whatever you decide to do, just don't. Well, quit if it's like, it's obviously like a bad idea, but like if it, just keep going with whatever.
Commitment and consistency.
Yeah,
for sure.
and then you'll learn from it, and then you'll realize that, okay, that was a good idea. I'm glad I took action on that, because now I got that set up, and now you find something else that you need to put action on. But that's how you grow. That's how you have systems and stuff. Just because like you took the time, you set them up, and then you make sure they work, and then you execute them, and now just go move on to the next one, and all of a sudden you just have lots of systems for a whole bunch of things, and things are running fluidly, and you're just like, how did that happen? We're like, well, you had to. There's lots of little actions items that I had to do.
Yeah. So what's been, like your growth, again, kind of recap for people. 3 years ago, 2022, went to the event in Pittsburgh. Didn't think $1 million was possible. Now you've hit that goal.
Yeah.
So what do you think the biggest thing that's attributed to that, kind of being able to hit something you didn't even think was possible?
I might circle back to just networking, because I really do think that's just like meeting people that are doing it. That kind of just like, wow, okay, like you're doing it, okay.
Yeah,
this was mine trash.
I had a big like kind of eye-opening thing with that when I joined like the mastermind group that I'm in. It's a bunch of business owners and that kind of thing from all over the country, and then I met these guys, 2 brothers, and they ran a roofing company that did like $20 million worth of business, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that I'm smarter than both of them. So if they can do it, like what? Like, why can't I do it? Like,
yeah, right. Similar, yeah.
And learning from those people too. So
yeah. So wait, go back to the question.
Yeah, the question was like, what do you think the biggest thing that's attributed to your success?
I mean, every year it's something different. Like, other than networking, every year is something different. Like, I try to focus. Like 2 years ago, it was just like learning the business, learning like the customer experience. So I kind of just a lot of learning into that. And then last year was a lot of marketing and branding and getting that and learning the sales. This year was a lot of sales and a lot of coaching and a lot of learning. So like I learning a lot of those little things kind of made, like, there's a lot of things and that helped me grow So I can't really just say one thing.
Say
But
one thing.
yeah.
How did you? So take me back to that, because one of the things you mentioned earlier was before you started the company, you were like, oh, well, we can't market because we don't have a brand. We can't sell stuff because we don't have like a sales process. So like, how did you build that sales process?
Yeah. That was the trickiest part. That was the hardest part actually, because I don't have money. Like no one has money, and so I did what I could on my own, which was I drew my logo. I like sat there and just sketched it out hella times, and then I went on Fiverr, and then I was just like, hey,
Fiverr's gold mine.
yeah,
If you know where to look and like vet people before you do it, like
yeah. I learned about Fiverr around this time too. So I was like, bet, like let me just draw my logo. I'm not. This is an OG logo right here. I drew that. It was an A and a P for Alacorn Pro, and I had the person just render it and make it give me a digital copy. So that was my marketing. That was my logo. Um, and then the next thing was pulling a trigger on marketing, because like you're never ready for that. My thing was like, well, I don't know how to sell. I don't have a sales process. I don't want to waste the money on marketing. I don't think I'm ready for marketing. But then I was like, well, I don't have jobs to get money to be ready. Like it was just like a big circle. It was just
nice
like
chicken and egg conversation.
Yeah, so I'm just like, So what I did, I kind of don't. So people always ask me, how did I start? Because right now I'm spending a lot on marketing, but people were like, how do you even start? Man, I put it on a credit card the first years, the first months, and I was chasing my credit card bill for like the first like 7-8 months. And it was always like, I knew when the marketing bill was gonna come in, and I was just working for my bank account to have enough just for that draw to come out.
Yeah.
It was a lot of that, but you just gotta believe in yourself. As far as like when you get in there, just think about hey, like I pulled the trigger on marketing. I need to get something back out of these leads, so answer them as quick as I can. Try to have the best customer experience I could have with just me. And it was just like me, like a lot, like my personal phone. I'm calling them. I'm painting. I'm like, I get a call. I'm like, I'll drop what I do and just answer, send emails. It's like really gritty. It's really gritty.
A lot of starting a business from scratch, or pretty much scratch.
Yeah.
Is just a lot of it's just grit.
Yeah, it was
white knuckle it.
Yeah, I don't even know how I didn't go. I think I'm glad that I figured it out, because I would have burnt out probably of just of how much I was doing. But during this time is also when I started listening to the podcast, and I was just like, okay, company turnover. Like we're now doing divisions, productions.
You had the vision of what it was, and like that vision, if you know what it is, where you want to go, like that vision can carry you through a lot of tough times, and like, oh, I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. And then you're like, but I see like that little glimmer of hope down the tunnel.
Yeah.
Like, it's out there.
Division. Yeah. The hardest part is kind of like making your, well, to me, it was because it was a family business. It was making, showing my family my vision. I was like, I'm trying to show you what I'm seeing. But it was
those
so
are hardest
hard.
people to sell sometimes on like that vision.
It was like there was a lot of fights to be back when we first started. But once I started selling jobs, and I was like, I have jobs now.
Who was your like first cheerleader? Maybe your biggest cheerleader, like kind of before it really like started to take off?
I had some good friends that were just like that has always seen me painting, and then when I started just like painting a lot, that's just like, oh, this guy has jobs. And then my friends were really good to me. It's kind of different when it's a family business, because it's like you guys are almost all on the same boat. So it's almost
Mm-hmm.
like you guys don't cheer for each other as much because
Mm-hmm.
there's like, we're struggling or like we're figuring things out or this client's kind of annoying us right now. So it's hard to like
Mm-hmm.
cheer for me to say family, even though we were all working for it. But yeah, I think just like my friends and yeah, good connections. Have good friends.
Yeah,
So
for sure.
they
That's
were my
awesome that
biggest.
you have friends that root you on and that kind of stuff. So it probably
Yeah,
goes the other way too, celebrating their wins and that kind of stuff. So
yeah, hyping them up,
yeah.
saucing them up. Yeah, I love it.
All right. What's like, so if you're thinking back to you as, you know, a 20-year-old or 22-year-old or whatever, what advice do you wish you had gotten?
Um, just like, hey, you're young, so most of everything that you think you know is probably head trash. Uh, just like limiting beliefs, like just drop it and just follow what this person is doing, because I sort of saw like, oh, this person's doing that, but that's just him because he's like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not me.
Yeah.
And they'll and like let's say you're the
So talk
mentor.
about that, because a lot of the people, you followed a lot of people and like asked them
Mm-hmm.
questions, but then went and met people that were doing the same thing. So like talk about that, because you said it, like a lot of it's head trash of like, oh, they're doing it because
It's
whatever. And you think
them,
about it, it's
yeah.
Instagram and it's their highlight reel and that kind of
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Like you know they must be perfect if that's all I see is their perfection. So like that's the reason that they can do that and I can't. Um,
Yeah, man. And then that just comes to like how bad I wanted it, because I was
mhm,
like, because I really I did have that belief like, oh, this guy's breaking a million, and I'm just like, but that's him though. Like
mhm,
he's older. He he knows how to talk. He knows the business. That's him though. It's not me. Um, uh, but then it was like just really asking like, let me see your phone. Like, what are you doing? What technology are you using? And then
mhm,
that's just like, okay, so these are all things that I can do too. And that kind of and then once like talked to that one person and I got his idea and I implemented it into my company, I was just like, oh, cool. That wasn't as hard. I just had to talk to someone and I figured
mhm.
it out. And then to me, I, I think a reason for my success is like we were talking about earlier. It's just I found that to be the shortcut. It's just
Mhm.
like, okay, that's what you're doing. Okay, just write it down,
Yeah.
and then go home and look it up a little bit and execute or just throw the idea out, but
Yeah.
never linger on it. Just and execute. Yeah.
Yeah. So sum it up. It sounds like finding someone that's kind of already where you want to be,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then like taking the path that they've already blazed a little
Yeah.
bit. And then I think too, like the secret sauce with that is like a little bit from over here, a little bit from over there. Cause like not everyone's the same. So like you're not going to, the way that you hit a million is not the same as
Mm-hmm.
that way that guy hit a million.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like,
I have different people that I look up to for different things,
mm,
like whether it's a sales, whether it's like, oh, I love their marketing, I love their Instagram feed, I love their website, like every single person, I love their door to door system. It's like,
mm,
okay, well, that's who I go to for that
yeah,
specific questions and mentorship.
cool. Any other advice you'd have for kind of the
Uh,
next group of people? Someone
yeah,
sitting in their college dorm room or sitting at home or sitting at the job that they're
I
packing packages at
yeah,
UPS at three
I
in the
would say
morning.
this is actually it's a hit and go in mine, as in like we're in a great time with like if you're young, you know technology, you kind of know the role of social media, you know how things go viral, you know how things work with the internet world, like trades. There's money to be made there, and you just learn the business and put yourself in the customer's kind of point of view and just be like, how would I want to be? how would I like my painter to present himself to me, and then just kind of work off that. And yeah, for the trade, you should don't stop. Just get whatever trade you want to get into. I recommend the trades just because like AI is coming, right? That's what people say. Yeah. AI is not coming for the trades. You could use AI to improve your trade business.
sure.
Yeah. So learn one. So I would say learn one. Just learn a little bit more than what the competition does, which the bar is kind of low still, like across the board.
I tell the guys that work for me all the time, a lot of times it's just like, can you do what you said you were going to do is like the bare minimum. And
Yeah.
like, unfortunately, like you said, in like trades, especially like home services and that kind of stuff, like that's not what happens. It's
No,
like,
the bar is low. The bar is low.
people don't show up when they're supposed to, like, and I think some of it is because the trades is like not sexy. So like you don't get, you don't get as aspirational or like as, not the right word. You don't get people that are like as highly motivated in the trades because they think that it's beneath them.
They just have that mindset of that. I think just the trade mindset, just kind of like, oh, this is kind of working for money, and they're like, oh, and that's it.
I mean, I was a financial planner before I got into roofing, and I don't regret it at all.
Yeah, right.
Like, yeah, I could have.
It's
Like,
the trade is a beauty. So I'd say, yeah, just find a trade, learn it, start asking people in that trade what they're doing, and execute. Like if it's a real idea that you have, just execute it. Like open that LLC, save that domain, and just do these little things so that now you have something going on. But if you just ponder on the idea, then like you're gonna be pondering for a while.
Yeah, I think one of the things you said before too is like take action. Like don't sit on the ideas. Like a lot of times, even like once you've started the company and that kind of stuff, like, and I'm sure you go through. I go through it too. Of like, oh man, like this sucks, and like everything turns into a job at some point. Even if you look at like professional athletes and that kind of thing, like at some point it turns into a job, and like you don't want to be motivated for it, but can you kind of power through that and stay consistent to continue to grow? Yeah, I think that a lot of times is the biggest thing.
Yeah. Don't deviate. Don't look at shiny objects. Don't just set your goal, and it's a great time to take action. I think it's right now. It's a great time to take action in whatever idea you got. Like it's a great time right now to do what you want to do.
Yeah, it can be anything.
Yeah. Flying cars. That'd be lit.
What time is it, Paige?